Welcome to Catholic Life, as we spotlight ordinary people with extraordinary faith. I am your host, Dina Dow, and I'm super excited to welcome Catherine Weidert. She is the communications coordinator at Catholic Charities here in the Diocese of Baton Rouge. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
The tables are kind of turned because you're the one usually doing the communications and not being interviewed. So hopefully we won't put you on the spot too bad today.
It'll be all right.
I can't think of anybody greater, though, to come in and really give us a good re-lesson in what's happening at Catholic Charities and the ways that the community is invited to be a part of this mission. Right. I mean, it's extensive.
We serve a lot of different populations, a lot of different people. We have a lot of different programs and services that really reach far and wide and impact a lot of lives. And you know, I'm blessed to work with coworkers who are so passionate about what they do and are out there in the community and trying to reach people who are vulnerable and are it, you know, majority of the people who come knock on Catholic Charities doors are not in great places. Yeah. You know, they're looking for help and they're looking to just get back up on their feet. And that's really what we try to do is get people in a good spot and ready to go out and conquer and just get stable again, because you never know when you never know when you or someone you know or love is in that predicament.
Right,
So.
and I don't think it's ever planned. It sounds like it's unexpected, you know, or it comes out of nowhere, or it's a gradualness too. How did you get to be where you are today as communications coordinator? Did you ever think that you would be able to do this?
No, so I grew up in the Catholic Church. I went to St. Michael's in convent my whole life, very strong Catholic faith. And I remember hearing a little bit about, of course, Catholic Charities has changed so much over the course of, you know, the years. But I remember hearing about their adoption services and how they would host like baby showers for expectant mothers. And I just always, you know, that kind of stayed in the back of my mind. Yeah. And I've been a nonprofit since I've graduated, you know, in mass communication with public relations. I've done healthcare side of nonprofit, and I did education, higher education. And when this job opened up, I was like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
That's a win-win.
And I genuinely, even growing up and knowing about Catholic Charities, had no idea the reach and the span of what they do, you know. So I'm still learning. I started in the end of 2020, so it was almost 3 years in, and I'm still learning, you know. And as needs arise in the community, our community leaders and our state leaders know that they can go to Catholic Charities and they will feel the need. We will figure out what needs to happen. Like during COVID, for example, you know, we were approached to kind of figure out how to help all of these people. And so they know that Catholic Charities is always up to the task, and we shift based on the community's needs. So
I mean, there are set ways that the ministries that you serve. What's the direct mission of Catholic Charities? Like, if you had to sum it up and, you know, like, what is the mission?
So I should know our mission by now. I should have it memorized because we say it, you know, for every quarterly staff meeting, but it's basically just using the gospel and being God's hands and feet on this earth and helping those regardless of income status, regardless of where you are in life, just helping them, like I said, become stable and help them get back on their feet.
I know there's nothing worse than being on shaky ground, right? Life is inconsistent. You don't know what to expect. You know, there's a lot of fear. I think that comes along with people that are experiencing things that are adverse, or they don't know how to get through that. There's some hopelessness possibly. One of the things that stood out, I was reading through the website, is one story at a time, right? Like, you're serving the individual, their needs, one person at a time, because everybody's needs are so diverse.
So, for example, we could have a pregnant homeless woman approach us. She doesn't have a place to live. She is 7 months pregnant, doesn't know, you know, what she's going to do. So we have Sanctuary for Life, where we can set her up for the time being and help her with employment. We help her with counseling if she needs. We help her if she needs transportation back and forth to school or whatever those needs are. It's great that there's an organization that can fulfill all of those needs, because a lot of times there are holes.
Yeah.
You know, there are holes where you don't have a program or service that a person needs, but luckily with Catholic Charities, we're able to direct you to here or direct you there, or we can evaluate your needs and figure out what resources we have available, and kind of help the whole person. It's not just like a section of it, you know. And then, you know, if that person wants to talk about an adoption plan, you know, we have social workers on staff that will help regardless of whether or not they choose to make an adoption plan or not, or parent the child. And again, it's just about setting them up for success. So, and you know, people come to us, they want the help, but they want to do it on their own. You know, they want to be able to, we're just there to kind of get it started and help them along the way. But
and find answers, I think, too. Just seeking answers, finding answers to help them get over into the next kind of like stability, and then moving, like what's the next step for them?
It's so overwhelming. You know, could you imagine being 18 years old, you don't have a place to go, pregnant, no access to doctor's appointments. And I mean, think about, you know, when you're pregnant, you go to the doctor, it ends up being weekly, you know, toward the end. So can you imagine the fear and the not knowing what's coming next? And we don't know. I mean, that woman could have been in an abusive relationship. She could have been, you know, we don't know how she ended up in that crisis pregnancy. So it's, you know, it's for us to welcome them.
And come alongside.
Yes, exactly.
What I keep thinking about, the image that's coming to my mind is the story of the Good Samaritan. You know, that there's someone in great need, and there are people that pass by unsure what to do or not really, you know, feeling the movement. But of course, you know, Good Samaritan comes along and scoots up that person and ministers to them so that they can get back on their feet and move forward. And that's what keeps coming to mind with St. Vincent, with Catholic Charities. You know, in that kind of faithful journey with them. Let's talk about some of the services. And I know one thing that's huge and growing right now is the mobile food pantry, and then this new warehouse. So tell me all about that.
So we started our Faithful Mobile Pantry last year, just as a pilot program. We started it actually in Albany at St. Margaret. We receive food from the Baton Rouge Food Bank, and then we break down the pallets of food and we make food boxes for families in need. Now, we recently, this program has grown and grown and grown. We recently purchased a warehouse, which we're super excited about. You know, food insecurity in the Diocese of Baton Rouge, Louisiana has the highest food insecurity rates in the nation.
I've heard that statistic.
It's in our state, it's 1 out of 5 people, and then just in East Baton Rouge Parish is 1 out of every 4 children suffer from hunger. So the need is definitely there, and so this warehouse will give us a space to store our food, and we're able to. We used to only be able to get like non-perishable foods, but now we'll be able to get, you know, we'll get freezers. And
that's great.
We're still in need of equipment, volunteers always. Once a month, we break down the food pallets and make the food boxes. We serve about 1,000 people right now.
Really?
Yes. And each family gets 30-pound box of food once a month, and so we're hoping, you know, to grow that. But yeah, it's growing fast. We need drivers, we need trucks, we need forklifts, we need volunteers. It's a great opportunity for service hours. If your high school student is looking for service hours, come on a Saturday, knock it out. And
confirmation groups, even families. I'm thinking it's a great thing for families to. Is there an age restriction?
12 and up.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So anybody in junior high on up to come. And are those opportunities? Can you go to the website and find volunteer opportunities for that?
Yes. CatholicCharitiesVR.org. We have all of our dates listed. You just fill out a form and show up on the Saturday whenever you choose, and we'll put you to work.
Does the warehouse take donations, or do you get food from other suppliers?
We do get food from other suppliers. So, food insecurity is great, but we also learned through this process that 4 million pounds of food go to waste from retailers a year.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we're hoping to, go to those stores and pick up the meat that's about to expire and get it to families that need it. And we're not there yet, but we're working our way toward there. Like I said, we just purchased it a few weeks ago, so we're still setting it up and getting it ready, but we're excited about it, and we know that the need is great, and it seems to be growing. And so we're really just looking to, we actually did a survey of some of our clients that came pick up some food boxes and asked them about hunger, and 99% of the people who picked up food said they either had skipped a meal in a day or had not eaten at all that day.
Really?
99%.
Wow.
And I mean,
don't
that's in
realize
Ascension
that.
Parish, where and you don't realize it, that people just, you do what you have to do, and I guess.
Yeah, and for a culture that's so rich, you know, and celebrations and festivals and food is a kind of a center point of that too.
Right.
It's so good to be aware,
Right.
and of the opportunities to not only send people that are in crises,
Right.
But also too to be a help for that,
Right.
Somebody that can go there and help, get this warehouse up and running,
Right.
And get this food distributed. We were a part of that. After one of the hurricanes came through, and I just sent my staff out, like, just go volunteer. There's no need for us to come into the office. Go and volunteer, pick a parish, and go. And we went to St. Margaret's Catholic Church, and I remember a food truck coming in with boxes, and the people that had been devastated by this hurricane, it was Ida, were so grateful.
Yes.
They're like, wait, I can take this whole box? I'm like,
The whole box,
take the whole box, and just helping them carry it to their car, and the hugs and the well wishes, the prayers.
Right.
So even the opportunity, to not only help people receive, what's provided to them and help them get over that, but also to the opportunity to be able to just witness God's love.
That's exactly
it's
it.
powerful.
It is powerful.
Very powerful. Yeah.
And
so good. Yeah. We're running a little. I know we're both looking at the clock. We're running a little bit out of time for a break. So let's take a break.
Okay.
Hold that thought. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the services, volunteer opportunities, and then financial support.
Yes,
that's most
always need it.
Great. Stay with us. We're right back in just a minute.
Hey, I'm Father Joshua Johnson. I am the Vocation Director for the Diocese of Baton Rouge. God our Father created each and every single one of us, you and I, for no other reason than because God desires for us to become saints. That is our primary vocation, to become a saint forever in the kingdom of heaven for all eternity with God. But for some of us, our path to becoming a saint is going to be through the state of life vocation of the priesthood of Jesus Christ. If you believe that God might be calling you, if you have a thought, hey, look, God might be inviting me to discern the priesthood of Jesus Christ as my path to becoming a saint, to help other people become saints in their walk toward eternity, then I want to invite you to reach out to me at our office vocations here at the Diocese of Baton Rouge so that we can walk with each other. I can accompany you in your discernment, in your prayer, and learning more about the gift of the priesthood of Jesus Christ so that you can discern, is God inviting you to walk toward eternity as a priest of Jesus Christ?
We are the fog on your glasses. We are the cup to go at breakfast. We are the answer to your deadline. We are closing the deal. But more than anything, we are never being out of coffee ever again. Never. We are River Road Coffees, and we're ready to prove that our coffee is better than whatever coffee you're drinking at the office. Call us today for a side-by-side taste test so you can get powered by River Road Coffees.
Welcome back to Catholic Life as we spotlight ordinary people with extraordinary faith. I am Dina Dow, continuing our conversation with Catherine Weidert, who's the communications coordinator for Catholic Charities here in the Diocese of Baton Rouge. Well, we just went through, all the food services opportunity, but we were talking at the break about the welcome that people receive, either coming in as a volunteer or coming in seeking support and help. And I think that's something important to remember, that whether we are the ones that are in need, the ones that are volunteering, there's always this welcome into this community, because I can only imagine that it is hard to ask for help.
Right, and a lot of people have to swallow their pride and get out of that place where they're able to ask for help, right?
Yeah.
So our mental health counseling services, we do telehealth and we also do in-person appointments.
Yeah.
We have licensed social workers on staff who are phenomenal and are looking to help. So we have a sliding fee-based scale.
Right.
If you don't have, we do accept insurance as well, but if you don't, we can work with you. If you don't, I know sometimes it's hard to pick up the phone and call and say, I need help. We have a form online that you can fill out. You can tell us about yourself. You can say what you're struggling with. If you'd like an in-person appointment or a telehealth appointment, you can tell us a little bit about your back history. That way it's not so overwhelming where you're picking up the phone and cold calling and saying, I need help. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Where do I go?
Yeah.
And like I said, our staff is amazing, and they're so warm and welcoming, and can really help with, especially around the season time coming up. Holidays is hard on a lot of people, and so they do marriage counseling and pretty much the whole
I was thinking
gamut.
about grief counseling too around this season of the year where the holidays are coming up. You got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas coming up, and New Year's, and just the opportunity for people that if they're struggling to reach out, and don't let money be an obstacle.
No, not at all.
That's what I'm hearing. Just to call and see what support is there, because we have to take care of ourselves, right? And in order for us to be able to really kind of listen to the Lord and be guided by that. So there's a lot of trust there too. I find at Catholic Charities, that there's trust there.
All confidentiality, and also we accept donations, and that also helps people who are not able to afford our services. We are always in need of donations, and whether time, treasure, whatever you can give, that's a very important part of what we do and how we're able to kind of stay up and running and help so many people.
And you were talking, the overhead is very low.
Our overhead
so
is
the donations
low.
Go straight to the services.
Straight back out the door. We don't, our overhead's very low, far below the national average, for nonprofits. So majority of the dollar goes right back out and goes directly to the people who need the help. So
yeah. There's another interesting situation you brought up too, is grandparents raising their grandchildren.
Yes.
So that's huge.
That's a good bit of our clients. These people are 80, upper 70s, they're on fixed incomes. They and like we were talking with the price of groceries, just the price of everything right now, so can you imagine raising a teenager that eats constantly and you're kind of like, what do I do? So that food program, a lot of our clients with that are grandparents raising grandchildren as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You also have immigrant and refugee services
Immigrant and refugee services. A lot of refugees come with nothing.
Yeah.
They have nothing. They're fleeing their home country.
War-torn,
War-torn, prosecution. It's just, so they have to leave. And they show up to our door, we get a call and say, this person's coming in, this is their family, here's what they need. And so we have to make sure that their apartment is set up and ready for them to go. There are certain necessities that they have to have, in order to come, a home cooked meal when they first get here, just to, because they're going from plane to plane and place to place. And so you could just kind of see. I remember I went to the airport to see this family arrive. It was a mom and 3 kids. And you could just see the exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
The exhaustion and the pure, but also the relief.
Yeah.
When they finally touch down and you can see, our caseworkers went and grabbed them and helped them with their bags and, brought them to their apartment and everything was set up. And I remember the little boy's eyes just being like, wow.
Yeah.
Because they're, a lot of them are used to living dirt floors, nothing, and
under fear.
Under fear. The safety of it is it's remarkable.
And do y'all take donations to help with those resettling people and finding new places when they are seeking shelter? I call sanctuary.
Yes,
in a new place.
we accept donations for all of our programs. You're able to designate if you want to give to a specific program, and that pregnant women, adoptive families, refugees and immigrants. Or you can just say it goes to the greatest need.
Gotcha.
So our website, that's all on our website. It's so easy to give. You could set up a recurring payment if you'd like, or if you want to just give one time. Yeah. And then we also have our Christmas program coming up.
Yeah,
which,
that is coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
Our community Christmas, so we're happy to be able to go back to our clients creating lists.
Okay.
And sponsors can shop off of their list. The deadline to choose you go online, everything is online.
Okay.
You can choose a family based on zip code. So we have our clients all throughout, the diocese area. You can choose a family with one person. You could choose a family with 3 kids and a mom. It whatever you decide you want to do. And the deadline, or you can also give a gift card as well.
Yeah.
And then you receive their gift list, their wish list, and you're welcome to shop off of that if you'd like. It's just suggestions. You don't have to buy everything on it. A lot of it is, so we think of Christmas as like gifts and, extravagant. Or at least I do.
Things we would never buy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
These people are asking for towels, sheets. Basic needs. And just seeing, like, again, the pure joy on their face when they come pick up the wrapped gifts is you could see it's a sigh of relief. Like,
how many families do you
we
serve
have
with that?
over 500 families signed up this year. Yeah.
Wow, it's
Yes.
great.
It's
can people team up and maybe adopt a family?
yes, Thanksgiving
Okay.
is a great time. Get with your
Yeah.
family instead of picking names and buying, a Bluetooth speaker for this one or whatever.
Yeah.
Sponsor family. And it feels really good for the sponsor as well as the family. So it's just a good feeling all the way around. It's a great way to start off your holiday season and a great way to get back. We'll also need some volunteers.
Okay.
So we'll be in desperate need of volunteers.
Right.
Yes, for Santa's workshop. So that'll be at our new warehouse on Corsi Boulevard. So we'll be doing it there this year. And the drop-off dates, so sponsors will come drop off wrapped gifts.
Okay.
And we call the client and tell them that their gifts are in, and so we need help sorting through all of that and being, Santa's elves and spreading Christmas cheer. So all of that information is on our website.
Okay.
Please
what do they
visit
look for when they go to the website?
Community Christmas. It'll be a banner at the top, and it'll take you to our Christmas site. You can, like I said, pick your family. You could sign up to volunteer. Our distribution dates are December 12th through the 15th and the 18th through the 19th.
Oh, yeah.
So
getting really close to Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the deadline to choose a family and postmark gift cards is November 28th.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Thanksgiving, a great time.
Yeah.
Get it done.
So when your families get together for Christmas, go online, and look at that community Christmas. I love that. We have done that in the past as a family and also as a church community.
Right.
And it's just so exciting to see those things.
It is.
And actually, there was one season where we brought the gifts to the family.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing.
That's also an
amazing.
option.
Yeah.
If you want to deliver the gifts directly to the family, email us and we'll see if they're comfortable with that, and we can set that up for you.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Just the mom was there, because they were trying to surprise the children, but she was so grateful, tears in her eyes. She's like, I don't know what I would have done this year.
Literally,
it's been a tough year. They had a lot of medical issues and expenses that were unexpected.
Right.
And that was the last thing that they were thinking about.
And we focus so much on the kids, but the kids love seeing their parents open up gifts as well. It makes them excited that, their mom gets a gift. And so even if it is towels or, sheets or whatever, it's the thought behind it.
So you've been serving this for almost 3 years now. Like, tell me one of your favorite stories or experiences.
Oh, man.
I know, there's only a million.
Again, I think the most recent one would have to, There was Sanctuary for Life. I don't know if we talked about that too much, but that's our housing, our transitional housing for homeless pregnant women. She was maybe 20 years old, pregnant, had nowhere to go, reached out to us, or I think I had heard about it. She was through word of mouth, and they said, Catholic Charities has this. And it's important to note that we serve people of all faiths. I think that kind of throws people off a little bit too. We will not shut our door on anyone. And she had left an abusive relationship. She was pregnant, about to be due, and again, just lost. And I got to see kind of the happy story behind it, the happy ending where she was able to get her own townhouse. She was able to buy her own car. She was able to save up and get her own car. When she would talk about her son, like just light up, and you could tell she was so proud. And it's stories like that, and that's what keeps you going. That's why you do what you do every day. That's your why, and there's countless stories like that. And it's beautiful to hear. It's beautiful to see God in so many people. Sometimes we're looking for that positive thing, or we hear so much negative about the world, and seeing that is just really brings me a lot of joy. And I'm happy that I'm able to help in spreading the word, because I'm not on the front line. So
but in a way you are, because you're the leading edge, and that's why I was really attracted to that one story at a time.
Yes. And everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Everybody has a different story.
Yep.
And a different outcome, but at the end of the day, like you just said, bringing the message of Christ to all people.
Yes.
And what a blessing for you as communication coordinator to share that message. Thanks so much, Catherine.
Thank you so much for having me, Dina.
Thanks for what you do too. I know some days at work, we have great days, and then we have days that are, just longer. But the opportunity for you to be able to serve that each day, and how God has just kind of blessed you with that mission.
Yes.
Hands down.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, so I'm thankful.
Thanks for being with us today. Thank you for being with us today on Catholic Life. And make sure that you remember Catholic Charities when you're considering your donations and your support and your time and treasure with other people. Until next time, may God bless you and grant you His peace.